I feel like we haven't had enough laundry machine advancement in the last like 10 years. Hi everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, welcome. I'm Tanya, a doctor lawyer turned homeschooling mom of 3 kids ages 8, 5, and 3. Today I'm going to be answering questions from the Homemaking Tag. I was tagged by my friend Lindsay over at Mama Schmooze Reviews. I'll link her up above and down below. If you haven't checked out Lindsay's channel, you should. She's a really down-to-earth and honest mom who also homeschools, and she will give you the lowdown on lots of things that have been helping her out, as well as what she's been using to homeschool her early elementary age children. So thanks, Lindsay, for the tag. And there are 20 questions here, so I know I can be a little bit long-winded. I'll just try to roll right through them. Question number 1 is, have you ever had anyone say anything negative to you about staying at home or working from home? Right now in my life, I am working from home. I try to work from home mainly when the kids are in winter camp or spring camp or summer camp. I try to take advantage of those things so that I have a set number of days where I know I could have regular working hours. I think I receive not so much negative comments as a little bit of concerned comments and pushback from people who feel that I've had so much education that to then give up on it, even part-time give up on it, would be a shame, let's say. And that can be difficult, as anybody I think who has left the workforce knows, but that's just the way things are, right? So, you know, I try to let those comments roll off my back. I realize that in general they are coming from a good place, but in the end I have to do what's right for me and my family, and I think we should all hold on to that. Number 2, what is your favorite or least favorite part of staying home or working from home? My least favorite part is being with my children all the time. It's a long time to be with your kids. I think I've said before that when I was working, I would miss them so much, and I really didn't feel like I was seeing them enough for my own self, for the personality I have, for the relationship I wanted to have with my kids. I wanted to see more of them than I was seeing when I worked full time, but it is very hard to see them from the moment you wake up, usually woken up by them, all the way to the moment you put them to bed. And I won't lie, I wish there was a village. I wish I lived in an area where I had more family, where I had a sister or a brother with kids, where we could trade off and I could drop my kids off for a couple hours with people who I knew loved them, and I could have a couple hours to myself to do whatever, whether it was just to sit and read a book or go have a cup of coffee by myself or get some work done. So that is the best part and the worst part in a way. Number 3, what is your favorite or least favorite chore? Yeah, I don't like chores. I don't like chores. I don't have a favorite chore. With the understanding that I don't like any of them, what is my least favorite thing to do? Probably cleaning the shower stalls. I really dislike that for some reason. It's not satisfying at all. I'm kind of grossed out by it. Partly because when I shower, I don't wear my glasses, so I have a very fuzzy, like, rose-tinted view of how clean the shower is. And then when I clean it, I have my glasses on and I'm like, ew, this is gross. And my favorite chore is probably laundry. I have a really nice laundry method. It was sort of the first thing I mastered when I stopped working full-time, and I like doing the laundry and putting it away. I don't like the in-between phase of like taking it out of the dryer to put away, and I don't like it when it piles up, but the actual time in the laundry room and the time in the closet putting it away is perfectly fine with me, because I generally listen to a podcast or something. Number 4, what time do you wake up or go to bed? I wake up generally, my husband wakes up very early at around 5 and he leaves around 6 most days. So I wake up at 5 when he does, and I'm a snoozer. I'm trying to break this habit, but I snooze for like an hour and a half. And I generally wake up at 6:30, roll out of bed, and try to have a leisurely half an hour or so before the kids wake up at around 7:15. And they are the types of kids that they don't amuse themselves. They show up in my bathroom. Everyone wants a piece of mama the moment they wake up. So it's really important to me that I wake up a little bit before my kids. Oh, and go to bed. I'm a night owl. You know, I like to stay up. I've always been that way. My husband, though, has to go to bed earlier because he wakes up at 5, and I do keep him up longer than I should. So I'm going to try to get better about that. But yeah, I don't sleep well, and I haven't for a couple of years, so we're gonna work on that next year, you guys. 5, do you put anything on in the background while you clean, work? Yes, podcasts mostly, YouTube channels that I follow, things like that. The one thing that I never watch really are vlogs. You'll notice I never really do vlogs here, partly because I don't actually know how they manage it. I think it's amazing, but I'm also not really interested in other people's vlogs. I know that's probably not the right thing for like a YouTuber to say, but I'm just not. I'm just not. I'm sorry. I really wish everybody the best in their lives, but I have my own kids and my own husband and my own laundry and my own whatever. I'm good with you guys doing your own thing in the privacy of your own home. But if you can do it, and if you do it, especially for the people who do it well, I'm impressed, because I don't know how you do that. Number 6, do you get dressed most days or stay in PJs? I always get dressed. I very, very rarely stay in my PJs. I would say maybe that's 3 days a year. And I kind of love those days, but they're very rare. And I don't get dressed up. I pretty much have a uniform of jeans or yoga pants and just t-shirts. That's my general go-to. Next year, I'm going to try to incorporate a lot of my old work wardrobe, like my nice blouses and stuff, because they're just sort of hanging there and doing nothing. So I figured I might as well throw them into the rotation. Let's see. Number 7, how often do you do your hair and makeup? I do not do my hair and makeup very often at all. In fact, so this month we're in interim housing, and I didn't bring anything, like not a blow dryer, not a like a twirly thingy or anything. So in general, I just wash my hair at night and go to sleep and let it air dry, and then it's a frizzed out mess. And then my trick is just to put it into like a bun or something that smooths it out for a couple days, and then this is what you see at the end. So yeah, and I only really put lipstick on for videos like this or for date night. So in general, I put moisturizer on. I always put mascara on because I seriously have no lashes. They are stubby and straight, and I have like a very high prescription. So if you can tell, like my eyes look a lot bigger when I take my glasses off, because my prescription is so high. If I don't put mascara on, then my eyes just disappear completely when I have my glasses on, which is most every day. Okay, so number 8 is, what is your trouble zone or area in your home that needs the most help? I think we do a pretty good job. I'm much more of a tidier than a cleaner, but fortunately my husband is a cleaner, so he generally does vacuuming if it's necessary and things like that. Yeah, I mean, I generally keep everything pretty tidy and then skim over. I'm trying to teach the kids to clean their own bathrooms, which is slow going, but hopefully we'll get there soon. Number 9, how often do you find yourself getting distracted? I get distracted all the time. I have a feeling, as I've learned much more about my son's ADHD, I have a feeling that I may have a little bit of ADD at least. I generally have multiple things going on at once to engage my brain, and I've realized that I've always been that way throughout my entire life. I'm one of those people who cannot study without music. If I watch a show, for example, on my computer, I will generally be reading a magazine at the same time or something else, just a light thing, something to engage both parts of my brain. If I am paying bills, I'll often think of something else to do, and it really does require concentration and effort to stop myself from getting up in the middle and doing that thing. So I definitely get distracted a lot. Number 10, do you enjoy staying home or do you miss going to a job every day? I don't miss going to work every day, but I do miss adult interaction. I miss having an office. I still have an office, but I never go there. I miss having a desk and a place to walk to and a reason to wear heels, if that makes sense. So I do still go into the office on occasion, but it is rare, and it does make it difficult to think of yourself as a working person when a lot of your work is done from home on your laptop. And it is a difficult transition, but I think it has more to do with my own ego and my love of heels than anything else. So I would not exchange it. I would not want to be in a position where I had to go to work every single day again. Number 11, what is your never-ending chore? My never-ending chore is laundry. I think I've heard a lot of people say this, and it's just true. I run 1 to 2 loads a day, and yeah, it just is never-ending. It just keeps going on, and I don't understand why this is never ending. But it is. 5 people is a lot of people, and for families who have more, it must be incredible. So hats off to all of us doing laundry together. Surely we can have some more advances in laundry machines, honestly, at this point. I feel like they're using less water, but maybe we can make it quicker or easier or something. Like something has to, I feel like we haven't had enough laundry machine advancement in the last like 10 years. Number 12, what is your favorite way to relax or have me time? Like I said before, my favorite way to relax is just to sit on the side of my bathroom sink and put my feet in the water and read a novel or read a magazine and just kind of zone out. The nice thing about putting your feet in the sink, you guys, is that you can't really get up and help anybody. If you hear something happening in the background with your kids and your husband or some altercation or something, somebody hit somebody else, whatever, you can't really go help because your feet are wet and you might slip and fall. So you have to stay put where you are. It's a really, really good way of maintaining your me time. So for those of you who haven't tried it, try it. Because if you're just sitting on the bed or something, or just hanging out in your room and you hear something happen in the living room, you might be tempted to go out and fix the problem. But if your feet are wet and you're up high, you can't, because you don't want to risk your own neck. So that's my big pro tip from this video. Number 13 is, how often does your husband or significant other chip in? And I'm very fortunate. I married a very clean and neat man who is very kind about helping me out when he comes home. And all throughout our time with kids, I would say that my husband has been very generous with helping out. There's never been an issue about this is like my job as a wife or not, and I credit his parents for that. I think they maintained a very neat and orderly home and made sure their kids knew how to clean and dust and keep their things in order. So yeah, I've never had a real issue with division of labor here. I think my husband helps out as much as he can. He works very long days in general, but I think I've always felt supported that way in terms of household duties. Number 15, how do you balance being a homemaker and creating YouTube content? It is not easy, mostly because my kids are really loud. So I try very hard not to film when they're in the house. In general, I make my videos when my kids have left the building or are sleeping. So if you see a couple weeks with just hand videos where I'm showing a book or something like that, it's usually because I haven't had any time away from the kids. And at least I can do those videos when they go to sleep. So yeah, it's not easy at all to make consistent content when you have exuberant children. Let's see, number 16. What is your favorite room in your home and why? My favorite room in my home, well, in my old home, my favorite room was my pantry, and you can see my pantry video to understand completely why. It was remarkably large and I could sit in it, and it really was my happy place. It was super organized. I just loved it. In my new home, I don't know what my favorite room will be. In this home, I'm in my parents' vacation sort of townhouse when they visit us. They're not here. They just use it to visit us, but I don't really have a favorite room, but the bedroom does have a little Juliet balcony off of it, which I think is very adorable. Okay, so number 17 is, what is your least favorite room? And in my old home, my least favorite room was the great room, which was basically like a wide open plan between the dining room, the kitchen, and the living room, and I just didn't like that. I'm one of these people, I like old colonials, I like old-fashioned homes where everything is kind of separated and cute and small and quaint, and I just feel more comfortable when I feel walls nearby. I think there must be something associated with anxiety and the love of old homes, but yeah, wide open spaces, vaulted ceilings, that whole thing, while beautiful, it's not really my cup of tea. Somehow it doesn't feel homey or cozy to me, and it makes me feel kind of like I'm pretending or in somebody else's magazine-like home, if that makes sense. Number 18, do you feel your home reflects your personal style, and why or why not? My last home did. I pretty much picked everything myself, and I really enjoyed decorating a home. I love the thrill of the hunt, basically, like figuring out what could work in a space. That being said, as I mentioned before, a wide open plan, a modern home is really not my cup of tea. It was difficult to have such a grand house reflect my personal style, which is much more eclectic and cozy. 19, what does your home smell like? I am very, very against any kind of artificial fragrances. So if you guys buy anything like those plug-in Glade fresheners and things like that, I really do recommend that you stop. If you look it up, a lot of those artificial fragrances and artificial candle fragrances and things like that are rated really, really dangerous on the EPA's website. And they just sort of make the cutoff for being allowed in this country. But a lot of the chemicals they use in them are not permitted, for example, in many, many countries in the EU. I do recommend that you stick to more eco-friendly options like a diffuser with essential oil. I do have one. I was very gung-ho about it for a couple months, and then I sort of fell out of that, but I hope to do it again where I move. In general, we open the windows. We like to let the wind blow through the house, and it just makes everything fresh and open and clean, and I prefer the scent of fresh air to most artificial fragrances anyway. Number 20, what is your strong point and weak spot when it comes to homemaking? My strong point is organizing. I'm very, very organized. Everything has a place. There's a place for everything, and everything has a place. But my weak point is also that I'm really good at organizing, because I have a way of organizing things so well that I fail to realize how much of any one thing I have and how much I'm accumulating. And I've always realized this when we move, because the movers are always shocked at how much we have once it all ends up like moving out of the house and into moving vans. And when we move into the new house, I know for a fact, because we are downsizing by about 2,000 square feet, we will have a huge surplus of stuff that we will have to get rid of. So movers are always shocked at how many boxes it ends up being, and their initial estimate for us is always way less than it ends up being, because everything is organized really well. So it can be a danger to be too organized. So I caution you there. Thanks so much for sticking through the 20 questions. I hope I didn't take too long. If you want to do this tag, consider yourself tagged. I think it's a great one for everybody to do, and a great little way for us all to get to know each other a little better. As always, you guys, I wish you the very best day. And if it's still the holiday season when this posts, happy holidays. Thank you so much for watching. I truly do appreciate each and every one of you. And I wish you the very best new year. Thanks.